southern Rust Belt.
They will never stop coming.
Marks on screen, calling for volunteers. Enlist. Resist.
Hey yo my beautiful friends, my name is Slim Bratsky and today we are gonna talk about Arc Raiders. I'm gonna share with you everything you need to know, so stay tuned. This is Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is said to launch in 2022 by the developers, and I am not too sure about that date, but let's get into that later. The game puts you and your friends in a war to repel a mechanized alien invasion. It's being developed in the Unreal Engine 5 and it's going to be free to play and release on the Xbox Series, PS5 and PC. Could this perhaps be the best looking free to play game ever? I am so excited to dive deeper into this one, so let's freaking get it!
You owe me one.
Let's talk a little bit about the developers before we deep dive into the game. So, the developers are consistent of former EA and DICE developers, one of them being the chief designer that used to work at EA. So their specialty is gonna be FPS games, big maps, destructions and vehicles. So the question is, will we be seeing anything of that in this new game called Arc Raiders? Will we see any vehicles? Will we see any great gunplay? Maybe will there be some levolution in the game? To be honest, we don't know yet, so you won't find out in this video. I'm sorry guys, but there is no information about those things, but you can hope. One can hope that it will be in the game. I would love to see some kinda new gen levolution in a game that's not from EA. That would be freaking awesome. The game is published by Nexon. Nexon is very big in the Asian market. They have developed their own games. They are now publishing games in the European market, American market, and so on and so on. They have done games such as MapleStory, and their main focus is MMORPGs. So I'm guessing Arc Raiders is gonna have a leveling system. I'm guessing it's gonna have some kind of RPG elements into it. However, the Embark development team, they are working on some incredible stuff, like this. They are working on making game development much easier for everyone. They're trying to reinvent how we develop games in today. So what they are working on right here is making the AI learn to walk by itself. So the developers don't have to animate walk-in animations. Instead, the AI will do it for them so that they can focus on other stuff and, you know, take down the crunch that is in the game industry. There is a lot of crunching going on. And what is crunching, you might ask? Well, crunching is when developers practically live at the office, just developing games. And that's the main reason for it, that it has to be like that, is because it's such a tedious process developing games nowadays. Fine-tuning everything takes a lot of time, especially for AAA studios that don't use its assets the same way that indie developers does. And I'm not saying that crunching is a good thing, absolutely not. I hate crunching. That shouldn't exist whatsoever. The game studios, they have to take that away completely, because it's totally idiotic. Burning your personnel out? That's a big no-no. They gotta think of other ways. The crunching is a big no. However, when it comes to the former EA and DICE employees, I mean, when you look at EA, they have done some pretty bad games the past years, and they have done some pretty good games. One of them being Battlefront 2, that was damn good. Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, in my eyes, they are good games. However, Battlefield 2042 is a complete shit show. It's a it's a garbage can of a game. It's the worst Battlefield ever created. There is two things good about that game: graphics and graphics. The rest is complete shit with that game. However, Embark Studios, they came together in 2018. So I am not too sure what Battlefield games, or even if they worked on Battlefield games at all, how involved they were in that. But let's hope that they learned from their mistakes. Let's hope that they have analyzed what their friends have done if they weren't a part of it, and don't make the same mistakes.
Watch it. Scout ahead.
So how is the gameplay in Arc Raiders? Well, Arc Raiders is a PvE third-person shooter where you and your friends team up and use tools and gadgets as well as weapons to take on the robotic threats that's coming from above. So to me, this sounds a little bit like Destiny style. The dungeons in Destiny, I can't even remember what they're called. It's been so many years since I played Destiny. But the dungeons, let's call them dungeons, where you enter 3 guardians, you go into a dungeon and you kill the enemies. From my understanding, this game is gonna be that, but in a much bigger scale. And when you read between the lines on the articles that exist on this game, you can kind of understand that there will be crafting in this game. There will be picking up materials, there will be loot in this game, and most likely there will be levels in this game. But I can almost certainly say that there will be loot and there will be scavenging of materials that you can craft new things with. The developers also specifically said that we will have to use the game's physics system to our advantage. And what we have seen so far, that is a jetpack and a grappling hook. I think and hope that there is so much more to that, because physics systems, they get me excited. And with the Unreal Engine 5, which this game is being developed in, they could make some really stunning things that we haven't seen in games before. So I am excited to see what they come up with. And being this vague of information about this game, and this being one of the things that they have pushed out, I hope it's gonna be magnificent. I really hope. Let's take a look at the grappling hook. Let's see what that is, because I have a picture of it, I have a little bit of information on it, so let's take a look at it. So this is the snap hook, not the grappling hook, sorry guys. It's called snap hook. And essentially what it says is that you can traverse the environment with this. You can fire it, you can go to that place. You can fire it at smaller robots and you can drag them to you, or it's gonna drag you to them, I'm not sure, but you're gonna get closer to each other and you're gonna have a fight of who's the strongest. And that's basically what this thing is. In here though, we have some more stuff, so let's take a look at him while we're here. So this is one of the raiders, he's called Lance. And what it says here is that this is a robot, but he is on our side, he is one of the resistance. Viva la résistance! The thing with this guy is that it says here, he is a crafter. He can scavenge items from the defeated robots and he can craft new weapons with it. So I'm guessing this is some kind of crafting class. I'm not too sure, it's a little bit vague, but I'm guessing this is the guy you want to go to when you want something crafted. Then we have the howitzer, the big ass gun. So this is basically a cannon that you're gonna have to use to defeat the biggest of enemies in the game. And this gun is gonna require 2 to 3 raiders to operate. So that makes me actually really excited. I really want to see how this thing works. So that's super cool and it looks pretty dope. I'm getting Destiny vibes from this. I really am. So I'm sorry if you're not getting any Destiny vibes, but I am. So I will probably mention it 1 or 2, 3, 5, 6 times again during this video. Let's move on to the next. This is one of the enemy types, Arc Rollerbot. So this is basically a small little ball, a little android that's gonna spin around and shoot at you, basically. And I'm guessing firing that grappling hook at this is gonna drag it to you, and firing at bigger enemies, it's gonna drag you to it. This is another one of the raiders. This is the I lost everything and now I'm fighting back. class. I don't really know what kind of skills or anything this class is gonna have, but here it is, Raider Celeste. So you might have heard me mention the graphics engine Unreal 5, and that is one of the most advanced and capable engines out there. We have seen some incredible things from it already, being one of the tech demos, the Subway one. I don't know if you have seen it, I'm gonna show it here for you. And it looks ultra freaking realistic. That is insane. You also have the Matrix demo, which you can play for yourself on PC, Xbox and PlayStation. And it just looks incredible. So seeing what a AAA studio can do with this engine now, it has me excited. Even if the game is complete ass, I'm still excited for it, just to be able to jump into the game and inspect the details and overall graphics. Cause I love to appreciate the artistry that goes into making games, and my hopes are high from the X-Dice developers. They are high. Cause if you think of the Battlefield games, they are filled with freaking details. You got all the destruction, all the vehicles, all the animations, everything. They are jam-packed with details that you can inspect and appreciate. So I am super excited to see what this game is gonna offer on that aspect. So what is the story about? The setup to Arc Raider's story is that you are a raider, enlisted to fight and resist mechanized threats from Arc that are descending from the skies. It isn't clear if the game is set in a futuristic version of Earth or a distant planet in space, but it does look like it's going for some kind of retro futuristic style, I would say. From what I have seen, I would say it's a retro future Earth. That's my guess, but I have no idea. There is no official announcement of it. What are your thoughts? What are you guessing? Leave a comment down below and let me know, guys. So what's going on with this game? It's been very quiet from this game for quite some time now. And as I was saying, the studio is working on a lot of other stuff to make development easier and innovative. So I think they have been putting a lot of resources into that. Plus, they are working on another big game. It's a multiplayer FPS game, PvP game, and that we know absolutely nothing about. There's just a short teaser of it. It's like 5 seconds long. And that's all that we know, and that it is a multiplayer PvP FPS. However, they are working on that game, they are working on a lot of new technologies, plus they are working on this game, plus we had COVID and everything else around that. We got a war going on right now, so there is a lot of stuff going on except for developing this game. So my guess is that, one, they are over-ambitious, as so many other studios have been the last couple of years. They have been so ambitious that they either release a broken game or they move the release of the game 1-2 years forward. So I'm guessing that is one of the things. If they were to release this year, I believe they would have put out a lot of more marketing by now. Now is really the time to do it, if they have plans on releasing this year. But they were planning on releasing a playtest this February, I believe it was, and that got cancelled. There was no playtest. So my final thoughts on this game: it looks freaking gorgeous. This trailer that has been running in the background, one of the better trailers I have seen in a long while. It is so good. You should go and watch it in its full glory, because it is awesome to look at. I do think that the mechanics of the game sounds really fun. The gameplay looks really solid and it looks really nice. However, the environments do look a little empty. I would have liked to see some kind of building, some kind of city, something like that. I don't just want to play in a wasteland. So I hope we're not just going to be playing in a wasteland, because I think they can deliver so much more than just sand and some bushes. Because that's basically what we have seen so far. Other than that, freaking fantastic. Can't wait to play this game. What are your thoughts? Friends, leave a comment down below, let me know. Thumbs up if you liked this video, thumbs down if you didn't like it. And until next time, keep on staying freaking awesome!